Hello, my friends. This is Jeremy Royster with Fearless Adventures in Learning, and this is the template for a Codebreaker quest, a fact-based escape adventure. To have your quest featured on the Fearless Adventures in Learning website, it is essential that you include fact-based clues that are linked to reliable sources. Let's take a look at the template. Notice that there are a lot of videos and samples on every slide. All of these will be replaced by content you create. Let's take a look at the sample Codebreaker quest. The sample Codebreaker quest is called Timeless Technology, and you'll notice it's by Professor I, an alias I use to protect my identity since this quest will be published on a public website. The next slide describes the situation. It is 2570 before the Common Era. You are an ancient Egyptian builder working on the Great Pyramid of Giza. The pharaoh demands precision. I show the players where Egypt is, and I provide a caption describing the location. In order to create the next slide, you need to choose a space. There are instructions for picking your own space from those that I've created, and there are instructions for creating your own. On the space slide, you also will provide artifacts to help your player figure out the passcode that will unlock a lock. The artifact is the object that will include fact-based clue information. I've chosen to put 3 artifacts that will help the player unlock this lock. And there is a description about what the objective is here on this slide. Use the ancient tools in the correct sequence to become a master builder and gain access to the pharaoh's sacred blueprint chamber. Check the tools and then try the lock. Here's the first artifact, and here is the first clue. The clues have information that will help the player figure out the passcode for the lock. The pharaoh wants the sides of the pyramid to face north, south, east, and west. The Merket is used to track the circling movement of the stars around the North Star. This illusion is created because the Earth rotates on its axis, which points north. Once you find north, you can plan all 4 sides of the pyramid's base. Notice that there is a hyperlink here to a reliable source that teaches about this very fact. Here is the second artifact, and here is the second clue. This is called a square level because the top of the A-frame forms the 90-degree corner angle of a square. When both legs of the A-frame are on a level or horizontal surface, the string of the hanging plumb bob will line up with the center mark. You can use this tool before stacking each row of blocks. Here again we have a hyperlink to a reliable source about this fact to prove that it's true. Here is the third artifact, and here is the third clue. Egyptians discovered that a rope with 12 equally spaced knots could be used to make a square corner because any triangle with sides of 3, 4, and 5 units always has this 90-degree angle. You can use the rope triangle to draw a perfect square on the ground where the Great Pyramid would be built. Notice we've got hyperlinks to reliable sources again about each of these facts to prove that they're true to our players. Okay, so the Merket was used to align the sides of the pyramid with the 4 cardinal directions, north, south, east, and west. That had to be done before the square was drawn on the ground that planned what the base would look like. And finally, the square level was used to make sure that each layer of the pyramid was level. All right, so let's try the lock. Pyramid precision lock. Place 3 tools in the order they should be used. Which shapes best represent the function of each tool? The locks can be of many different types. The one we used in the sample was a shape lock, but you could also have a color lock, a direction lock, a number lock, or a text lock. Okay, so we said that the first tool was the Merket, which was aligned with the stars. So the first tool must be a star, or an asterisk. The second tool we said was that rope triangle, so that must be a triangle. Finally, we used a square level, so we should probably use symbols for square. All right, let's see what happens. Submit. You did it. Click this link. Aha! The Pharaoh's secret blueprint chamber. You are now a master builder. So that's it. Don't forget, the more fact-based clues connected to reliable sources you include in your quest, the more likely you are to be featured on the Fearless Adventures in Learning website. Don't skip any of the videos or sample quests on any of the slides. Have fun!